good afternoon, everyone. Okay, it's the 4th day of Chinese New Year. So before I start my lesson, 恭喜发财 to everyone. Okay, I hope that you have been having a good time. But I also hope that you have not been playing too hard and forgotten about your studies. So I hope that you have been studying hard also, yeah? In fact, this 2 weeks has been very, what do you call, a rare opportunity for having such a long break in between your papers. So I hope that you have been studying well and using this time as much to your advantage, because the more time you had, actually you would have actually studied more and also done more revision. Okay, so for today, I'm going to present to you an SPM question. Okay, it's a clone, all right? It's a clone SPM question for which I'm going to tell you the scheme which is going to score you the best marks, right? I'll say this as a clone SPM question. All right, okay, so today, this will be the last class, yeah, for your Form 5 batch, because I know that everybody is busy studying for Monday. Monday is I think most of you is the last paper, all right, okay? And then I wish you all the best, all right? This is your last leg of the journey. And after that, you're free, all right? You're free for about maybe, half a year, and then you can do whatever you want, all right? Okay, so I'm going to share screen now. So if you would like to let me know who you are, who's watching this, just type hi on the comments and I'm able to see. And before I forget, I'd like to share with you my Telegram name, so that you can, if you have questions later, or you would like to ask me questions that you find difficult answering, you can let me know, and I will try my best to help you. All right, so this is my Telegram username. So if you'd like to contact me, all right, please do. Okay, so today's theme is all red. So I'm wearing a red t-shirt actually, and the theme is all red. All right, okay, let's start, yeah? So this is my 9th class. Actually, it's the 10th question that I presented. All right, it's a challenging question because all SPM questions are quite challenging, especially the essays. All right, so for those who do not know me well, or see me only for the first time, this is, I've had a channel for about 4 years since MCO, and I'm a teacher in Ipoh teaching biology. All right, okay, and my major is biology and English. Okay, so let's start, yeah, right? Okay, now this essay question is on chapter 9 of Form 4, which is on what we call digestive system, the human digestive system, that is nutrition. Okay, so let's look at the question. Diagram 1.1 shows a part of the human digestive system. So they're showing you a part only, all right? Because the ending, it goes all the way down to the rectum. There are 2 types of digestion that happens in organ W. Okay, so it's given to you here. There are 2 types. So you are supposed to mention, right? Since they give you the 2 types of digestion, so look at the question first. Right? Explain how food is digested in organ W. Okay, so this organ W, first you have to identify. This organ W is definitely the mouth. All right. Now you can see that it's not really pointing directly to the teeth. It's not pointing directly to the salivary gland. So it's just generally the mouth. So explain how food is digested, and also since the question they tell you there are 2 types of digestion, so please name it. Name the 2 types of digestion. If it's already given, of course, don't say it, right? Because you will be wasting your time. You will not get any marks for copying and repeating what is already given. Okay, so it's only 3 marks. The first question is always the easiest. Okay, let's look at what is required for you to get 3 marks. So the type of digestion, there are 2 types, right? As you know, I think you have done your revision well. So there's physical digestion and there's also the chemical digestion. Okay, so physical digestion means it's a mechanical breakdown of food. That means physically the food is broken down in smaller pieces. That means not in terms of molecules. If in terms of breaking down molecularly, that is chemical digestion. So breaking down, when you eat your food, the food is in big piece, a big chunk. So you will have to cut it down with your teeth. All right. Okay. So what else can you say? Since it's called physical digestion, so what actually happens inside the mouth when you chew? Actually, it is broken down, right? In fact, what it means broken down into smaller pieces. So it involves chewing or involves teeth action. Okay. So this is not mentioned in the question, so you can write this and you expect marks for it. So what is the purpose of actually chewing it or cutting it into smaller pieces? Okay, everything has a purpose, right? So the purpose here is actually to increase the surface area of the food. so that the digestion process by the enzymes will be conducted at a higher, we call it higher rate, or a faster, will be a faster reaction to break down the food molecularly. Okay, so this is for physical digestion. So since it's not stated whether it's chemical or physical, you can also say chemical digestion. All right, so any 3 marks, any 3 points is needed. So if you talk about chemical digestion, it means a breakdown. It's a chemical breakdown, right? Breakdown of complex molecule. That means by the molecules, you break down the molecules into smaller molecules, into smaller units, so that it can diffuse into the cell for the use of the cell. Okay, so it's a molecular breakdown of complex molecules into simpler molecules. Okay, and what is needed in order to carry out chemical digestion? All right, you need a catalyst. That means something that can make the chemical reaction faster. So that is actually enzyme. And in the mouth, you have to be specific, because it's in the mouth, so you cannot just say enzyme. You have to mention salivary amylase. Okay, this is the substance that is produced in the mouth by your salivary gland, and you have to mention the word salivary amylase. Okay, not just amylase. And what is action of amylase? It breaks down the starch that you have in the food that you're eating into maltose. So the word into maltose is also needed. Okay, so that you please remember to be specific. Okay, if you have your facts and you are debating whether to write or not to write, please write. Okay, provided the fact is not wrong. All right, but if you write the fact wrong, you risk either not getting a mark, or if this fact actually contradicts your earlier correct fact, it will cancel out the correct fact. Okay, so please be careful, right? But if you are debating whether to write more facts or not to write, please write. Okay, because most time in the essay, it doesn't really cancel out each other, because we will take what is correct. Okay, whatever fact that is correct, we will mark it. Whatever is wrong, most of the time it does not affect your answer, does not affect your marks, so it is ignored. Okay, so here you just write any 3 points. Okay, that would be enough to give you your maximum 3 marks. Okay, let's go to the second part, B1. All right, B1. All right. So diagram 1.2 shows a procedure performed in a hospital. Okay, so this is, they'll show the procedure later. And this procedure involves surgery on the digestive system. Okay, after undergoing this surgery, the obese individual, so it's for people who have this problem with obesity. All right, okay, they'll be able to lose weight and get the desired body. So by looking at this diagram, all right, you should know what the question is about. It's actually a medical procedure called bariatric surgery, which is reducing the size of the stomach. Okay, it's actually bypassing. You will see that it does not really go into the entire portion of the stomach. Rather, the stomach has been reduced and it goes directly into the small intestines. Okay, it bypasses certain part of the digestive system. So your digestive system actually is a little bit shorter, the tract, right? And there is, of course, advantages and disadvantages to this procedure. Okay, what is the question 1? Okay, question 1. Justify the advantages and disadvantages of the procedure in diagram 1.2. Okay, so this procedure will have advantages and disadvantages. They want both. So mention both, 6 marks. So roughly it's about 3. Okay, minimum 3 for each advantages and disadvantages. If you have more points, please write, because some of your points maybe you will not get your marks. So if you have additional points, you have more chances of getting the full mark. Okay, so please write as much as you can. Okay, of course, not one whole page lah. Okay, 6 marks, you do not need to write one whole page, because they'll be wasting a lot of your time. Okay, let's look at the scheme, yeah? Okay, B1. So advantages. So you can see very clearly that the size of the stomach is reduced. Okay, or you can say a part of the small intestine is bypassed. So you bypass the one part of your digestive system, and that makes it shorter. All right. And what is the advantages? So talk about advantages first, so you can separate. When you talk, this is not comparing. If you compare, don't separate into 2 paragraphs. Okay, but advantages, it is advisable for you to separate. So you mention all the advantages first, and then you mention the disadvantages later. It's easier for the pharmacist or the marker to pinpoint or find your marks or find your points. Okay, it's easier that way. So for advantages, you write one paragraph. So the size of the stomach is reduced. Okay, what else? Okay, so this causes a person to feel full quickly because the size of the stomach is smaller. It cannot accommodate so much food. So you eat a little bit, it already sort of like the size of the stomach is more or less already full, and you feel that it's quite you can't take in any more food. Okay, so it can reduce food intake, and when you reduce food intake, of course, the person is already obese, right? You do not need so much nutrients. You do not need so much of these fats and all these carbohydrates. So by eating less, it is advantageous because you will get less calories, and also, of course, there's disadvantages. We'll talk about it later. All right, reduce food intake, and that will reduce food digestion. Okay, when you reduce food digestion, it follows through, right? It also reduces the absorption of digested food. So the nutrients or the calories you will get less because you have less food, so you get less nutrients. Okay, and because of that, less nutrient means also including less fat, right? Therefore, there will be less formation of fats. You will not be making so much fat. You're not eating that much of fats. Okay, and that also another advantage is you can reduce weight, right? Of course, you don't repeat what is given in the question. What is given in the question is lose weight and get the ideal body, the desired body. That one you don't need to repeat. So you write something else. So this person advantage is you don't need to take any medication, all right, in order to reduce the body size. You don't need to take any chemical substances, all right. And one more, by eating less, right, you can also overcome other problems that are related to your obesity, which is diabetes mellitus, that is penyakit kencing manis, that is diabetes, yeah. But be specific, not just diabetes, but diabetes mellitus. Because diabetes is another one, which is called diabetes insipidus. That is totally different. So you have to be specific, yeah. Okay. And cardiovascular diseases is always related to people who are overweight. Okay. So this is the advantages. Now disadvantages. Okay. Disadvantage, don't forget, otherwise you only get half of the marks. Okay. Disadvantages. The esophagus expanded during the procedure, all right, the esophagus will be expanded. Then the person may get stomach ulcer or gastritis or even bleeding in the stomach. Okay, so these are the risks that is probable with this kind of surgery. Okay, so say the disadvantages in terms of the what can happen, the risk. Okay, the person can suffer all this. Okay, and because of eating less, the person is eating less now, right? There will be low blood sugar level. So the person may not be getting enough sugar, all right? Eating less content of carbohydrate. Less carbohydrate means there'll be less glucose. So the blood sugar level may be low, okay? And the person can also suffer malnutrition, eating too little, not enough nutrient for the person, okay? Or less nutrient is absorbed, okay? So when less nutrient is absorbed, right, of course the person is advantage is a bit thinner, but the probable things, it may lead to diseases, it may lead to conditions. Okay. Okay, what are the side effects? There will be vomiting, probable, yeah, vomiting, nausea. Nausea means the feeling that you want to vomit. You don't really vomit, but the general ill feeling that you get, that you feel that you want to vomit. Okay, acid reflux, where the acid that is produced in the stomach, which is the hydrochloric acid, it may move up into the esophagus, and you feel a burning sensation because acid is corrosive, right? And it goes up the esophagus. Sometimes your sphincter, we call the cardiac sphincter, may be loose, not very elastic, right? The acid goes up and it burns the inside of the esophagus. That's why you feel the burning sensation. We call it heartburn in general term. But in scientific term or in medical term, it's called acid reflux. The acid goes up to the esophagus, and you feel the burning sensation in the esophagus. Okay, dizziness because not enough sugar, all right, not enough glucose. Fatigue, tiredness, again not enough glucose, and probable defecation problems, possibly. Okay, defecation problems. You have difficulty emptying the bowels. Okay, next. So it may also, this person who's having this, taking this procedure may also not able to eat certain kind of food. Okay, so this involves certain food prohibition. That means after doing the surgery, you may have to stay off certain food. You cannot eat all the food that you like. Okay, we call it larangan makanan. You can't eat everything that you like because you have undergone surgery and your stomach is smaller. You can't eat laksa, maybe acid, right? Things that are too sour, it's not good, right? Risk of infection. That is the point that you can write for every surgery. Every surgery, whatever surgery that you undergo, right? There is always a risk of infection, right? So that is a complication later. Okay, so and also of course this medical procedure is not cheap, right? It's not cheap at all. So it's expensive. That is a disadvantage. Okay, so think of it. Sometimes all these things you do not get in your textbook. That's why you have to use your knowledge. You have to use your general knowledge and also your common sense. Okay, some things, not everything is in your textbook. So you cannot, and also in your reference book. Okay, all these are acceptable answers. Okay, so how do we give you your points? So at least 2 of advantages and 2 of disadvantages, and the remaining points can come from there. But generally speaking, try to have 3 at least. You can write 4. You can write even more, right? Just that the examiner will pick up for you. Okay, all right. Let's go to B2. All right. So let's see if anyone has any question. Oh, okay. So counts ya. Dalam bahasa Melayu, okay, you can nampak dalam slide saya kan. Okay, dalam soalan tu, you will see that the slides are with the end, right? So in the end. So most of the points already, I think you can answer in the end. If the other words that I use in English is more of explaining lah, right? Explaining. But I do have I do have a BM class, which is tomorrow. Okay, you can join my class tomorrow at 3:30. I will explain the same question and also another question in the end. Okay, so Carls, you subscribe, then you will know when is my next class, which is tomorrow at 3:30. Okay, right. Hope to see you. Yeah. Okay, thanks for your feedback. Okay, so suggest other methods to overcome obesity. So for today, it's mostly for English for DLP. Tomorrow, I have a similar class, which is for in the end. Then you can join the DM class. Okay, Carls. Right. Thank you. Right. Okay. Suggest other methods to overcome obesity without undergoing surgery. So the one given to you is one way to overcome obesity by, this is actually quite a last resort lah. We call it because it's expensive and it's open surgery. So people normally do not go through all the trouble to get, to lose your weight unless you're very rich lah, right? And you're not worried about your complication. But usually, there are other ways, easier methods, not so expensive. Okay, so what are the methods to overcome this problem without undergoing surgery? Of course, first try all this first. If it doesn't work, everything that you do doesn't work and you're still obese, right? After going through all this, then the last resort is to go through may consider bariatric surgery lah. Okay, that is if you got a lot of money lah. Okay, if no money also no need to consider. Okay, now there are 2 aspects of overcoming obesity without undergoing surgery. First of all is eating habit. Okay, you are what you eat. Actually, it's true. Whatever you eat, you will incorporate into your cells. So you are overweight. You have so much of protein. You have so much of muscle and fat. Everything it comes from what you have already ingested, what you have already eaten. Okay. So first of all, in order to overcome that, you have to cut down. You have to jaga your diet. Okay, eating habit number 1. Practice pinggan siap Malaysia. This is called healthy Malaysian plate. You can put pinggan siap Malaysia, is acceptable. You want to put in English, you call Malaysian healthy plate, which is actually, remember, you see there's one circle here and then you cut into half and then another one into quarter. We call it quarter half diet. Okay, so usually now this is the in thing lah. Okay, this is a very popular thing lah. So no longer your pyramid, what you call your pyramid, your seimbang, that one not so, but please write this one. Pinggan Sehat Malaysia, quarter half diet, or you have to cut down the intake of carbohydrates, but you have to increase the intake of food with low, we call it low GI. Okay, low GI means if you take food that is low GI, sometimes you look at the food, yeah, you see the brand, the label that low GI. If low GI means the kind of food it gives you carbohydrate, yes, but it will be broken down slowly. So it will not release all the glucose immediately into your blood. You don't get what you call a sugar spike or a spike in your blood, a glucose spike. So it will be slowly released into your blood. You do not get increase in the glucose immediately. Okay, so that's why good for people who are having problems with diabetes and all that. You need to take better to take low GI food. Okay, okay, makanan yang rendah glycemic index. Okay, all right. Now, besides that, you have to reduce the intake of carbohydrate lah. Right, these are the ones that make you fat. Carbohydrate, lipid. Okay, if you take carbohydrate, don't think it's just for energy. If you have too much carbohydrate, it can be converted into lipid. It will be converted into lipid, and then you get fat also. Okay, or you can say increase the good food intake. The intake that is good food. For example, you eat chicken, good protein, but don't fry. Okay, not fried chicken with the fat and all the batter and everything. You take boiled chicken or steamed chicken. Okay, or you take brown rice. Brown rice is better than white rice. Okay, nasi putih. Brown rice is better. Okay. Okay, sufficient intake of protein. Must take enough protein. Take enough water, because if you take more protein, you'll be taking less carbohydrate, right? Okay, if you take more protein, take carbohydrate, you can actually cut down your body weight also. Yeah, I've got a family member who takes very little carbohydrate but takes more meats. That is good also, because when you take more of the other, especially vegetables, that's good. Vegetables, dieting, all these fruits and vegetables, you have less capacity to take carbohydrate, which is basically just it's going to convert into sugar. And sugar, if you don't control it well, it will also give you another problem, which is diabetes mellitus. Okay, so enough protein, enough water, drink more enough water, and then you must reduce the amount of calories. Take food that have low calorie. Example of low calories would be fruits and vegetables. Fiber very low calorie. Okay, those high in calorie are those three food only: carbohydrate, fat, and protein. These are the three that gives you calories. Okay, the other four types of classes of food: water, fiber, which is roughage, minerals, and vitamins. They don't give you any calories. So you can take a lot of that, and you don't have to worry about getting fat. Okay, all right, next, some more, not yet finished. Okay, F5, increase the intake of fruits. This one I mentioned, fruits, vegetables, or fibers. If you take more of this, you have less capacity of your stomach to take in the carbohydrate and the fat. Take more of this, you won't be eating so much of the other non-healthy food. Okay, practice regular meal times. You must eat regularly. Do not eat only when you feel you're hungry. Eat regularly when the time is there. Breakfast, at least breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, don't eat when you are free. Sometimes you're not free, you won't eat, and then your stomach will suffer, right? So eat practice regular meal times, and also avoid eating late at night. Because when you eat late at night, supper, you actually put on weight. Because after supper, right, you eat already. All right, your food, you don't exercise, you don't have any physical activity, so a lot of that food, a lot of that calories that you release, okay, after digestion, it will be stored in your body, so you will get extra calories. So if you eat at night, you're not active at night, you're sleeping already, you find that calories or that food will be converted into fat and so on. Okay, all right. Avoiding junk food. Junk food, lots of fat, lots of salt. Okay, sugar and fat is your main enemies for people who are obese. All right, processed food or fast food. Okay, because they are usually high salt and high calories, high sugar. Okay, Aspect 2. Now, please don't forget, you not just write on food only. You have to look at your lifestyle. So we need you to write on these two aspects, not just one. If you write only one, you don't get full marks. Not enough points to get full marks. Okay, you must talk about your lifestyle. The best way is to always exercise. I'm sure most of you, everybody will say this. Okay, the way to lose weight is exercise. That is 100% true. Okay, so you have to lead an active lifestyle or exercise regularly. Why? What does exercise do? Exercise will cause your fat to be burned. Okay, more fat will be burned. You are not storing it. When you exercise, you need the energy for your muscle contraction. So the fat, right, will be converted into glucose. You'll be using it to produce ATP for your muscle to work, to pull your, to move flat and so on. Okay, all right. So, and also avoid taking alcohol, avoid stress, avoid sleeping late. All this is not good for your health. Okay, and it may you may already have obesity. It may make it even worse, right? Okay, so these are the points that you need to write. Make sure you touch on both aspects, which is at least two points from the dieting, the eating habit, and also the lifestyle habit. Okay, at least. And then the rest of the points can come from anywhere. Make up 7 marks. Okay, all right. Okay, next question, C. All right, C1. Okay, I can see. Okay, so there are 3 poor eating habits, not diet lah. 3 poor eating habits of 3 people lah. Okay, number 1, this person doesn't like to eat. Okay, always never eat, even though hungry, don't want to eat because probably think that it will make the person too fat. Probably the person is already very healthy and look nice and slim, but because of some kind of psychological disorder lah, right? The person thinks that I'm too fat, even though the person may be just fine. Okay, so this is a medical condition now. In fact, more of a psychological condition. Okay, then second one, look at this guy who is very muscular, taking steroids. This is medicine. Okay, these are chemicals that helps to build muscles. Not the person must have building muscle. Of course, you need exercise, but you also need protein. You need protein. That is by eating. But probably the person want to build up muscle faster, not satisfied with eating protein only. Want to have injection of steroids to make the muscle bulkier, build the muscle faster. All right, that's not good. Okay, and also this person is after eating vomiting the food. Okay, so just to let you know the 3 conditions. This one in chapter 9, the last part of chapter 9. The first one is anorexia nervosa. Okay, don't want to eat. All right, usually the person is very thin. If you don't eat very regularly, you will be losing a lot of weight. You can sometimes see the bone. It's a bag of skin and bones only. Second condition here is muscular dystrophy. Right, the person feels that too small size, they will exercise too much, build up the bulk, and make it even worse by taking medication to make the muscle bigger. Okay, and next one, this is bulimia. All right, bulimia is eating also, or sometimes eating not regularly, but once they eat, they will secretly throw up the food because also have the mental problem of thinking the food is going to make the person fat, okay, or obese. Okay, so what is the question here? You need to recognize the condition first, and then you can write about it. Suggest how you can help individuals who have those poor eating habits. Okay, 4 marks. How you see the word I underline, you, that means not what the person can do, but how you can help that person. Imagine that is your friend who's having this problem. What you can do, okay? So of course, you advise, right? Most students will write this advice, yes. But what kind of advice are you giving? Okay, first of all, advising to see a specialist. Okay, not just doctor, Doctor is too general. It's probably not accepted. You will say advising to see a doctor. Doctor is for medical conditions like, normal like GP, general practitioner, you say like asthma, flu, cough and all that. But we need, this is something like, mental kind of health, So the person is not eating, you need a psychiatrist help Okay, you need to see a person who's pakar we call specialist. So must be psychiatrist or counselor, okay? And also nutritionist also can, okay? Pakar pemakanan also can. All right, okay, so advising to undergo counseling session. Advising to go and seek help or take medication, of course, with a doctor lah, right? Cannot just take medication on your own. Or you can give moral support, advice, give moral support to the person. Bring him to see psychiatrist, all right? Tell the school counselor, whatever, right? The problem. Okay, P3, advising to see a nutritionist. This is something to do with dieting, okay, the food. Nutritionist or dietitian or fitness instructor. This fitness instructor will give you the proper way to exercise, not by taking medication, but by doing proper, correct exercise that can build muscles in certain areas. Okay, so advice, bring him to see all these people. Okay, next. Okay, some more, yeah? Okay, so advising to undergo nutritional therapy. These are the people who are specialists in food, right? Practice a balanced diet, proper exercise, teach him how to exercise, or you can also say cook for him. You make food, prepare healthy food for him or her, also can be under P4. Help him. This is what you do as a friend. Okay, cook a proper diet cook proper meals for him, prepare healthy meal for the person. Okay, so that he can regain normal BMI. Okay, all these that you see, they are not normal because too thin, right? Vomiting too much, not enough nutrients. The person obese or maybe too fat, right? Or too big size. BMI is is extreme. So he can regain his normal BMI. And also, what you can do as a friend, you can create awareness by posting. This one is acceptable. You know, nowadays with the media age and all that, all these handphones and TikToks lah and Facebook and all that, you can write that as an answer because it's accepted. Okay, you can create awareness by spreading information through social media. Social media means all your Instagram, your Facebook, okay, TikTok and whatever you have, all that, right? Tell people about these things. Make everybody aware that this is not healthy. This kind of habit is not healthy. Okay, or you can organize awareness campaign for people in the community, people around you, so that less people will join in this unhealthy habit. Okay, so any 4 points. Okay, so it's your role, what you do. Okay, not what other people do, but what you do. All right, okay. So now bonus. Okay, the question is already finished. 20 marks already. Now I want to give you, I wouldn't say it's ramalan. Okay, not ramalan. I didn't spot. I do not know what question is coming out. I didn't see. I don't have a friend in the KPM who can tell me. All right, this is against the rules. I do not know. A lot of people do not know. But these are what I feel are important topics that you should not miss out, that you should not forget to revise. Okay, because based on my experience of looking at the question, analyzing for so many years, I find there are certain things that more or less very popular. Okay, I would say popular topics. Okay, Form 4. Please don't forget to revise chapter 2. The function of the organelles in the cell. Okay, mitochondria, chloroplast, all these centriole function. Usually they will ask you what's the function and what happens if this thing cannot work. Okay, this mitochondria is defective or already faulty or whatever lah. Then you must make sure you answer in a negative way. The cell cannot blah 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 blah. Cannot do what? Okay, negative. If they say something does not happen, does not work, unable to function, your answer must be in negative form. Don't answer by saying the positive. Okay, the mitochondrial function is to produce ATP. That is the function, yes, but you didn't answer the question. You did not say what happens if your mitochondria cannot function. If it cannot function, means this cell cannot produce ATP. Okay, so cannot generate energy in the form of ATP. Please write that way. This is usually what I see in the structure. All right, okay, next topic. This one you cannot forget. The movement of substances across the plasma membrane. This is chapter 2 and 3 is your basic of biology. You need to know all your active transport, passive transport. Okay, passive transport, you have 3. Osmosis, simple diffusion, facilitated diffusion. Okay, you have to go through that. Very popular question. Structure possible. I say possible, okay. I didn't see the question, no, I'm telling you, I do not know. Okay, cell division is also popular. Okay, how the cell, the movement of the chromatids or chromosomes during mitosis, meiosis. Sometimes you need to compare. Okay, they give you the what they call the sequence. The first question is, what type of cell division is this? Mitosis ka, meiosis ka? Okay, either these 2 answer only, no other answers. Then give a reason why. Then you talk about the chromosome. If you see them pairing, synapses, crossing over, that is definitely meiosis. Okay, so next question. Right, let me go and switch back to my slide. Okay, cell division, don't forget. And also the genetic, Down syndrome and all that. Okay, that one comes in form 5. Right. Nutrition. Just now I told you about my today's question. Nutrition on the structure and the function of enzymes. Enzymes in the digestive system. Okay. And also, of course, the assimilation is also quite popular, right? But of course, more popular is the digestion, the enzymes, how it works, the alimentary canal. Okay. So it came out in essay last year, question 11. So probably it will not be the same lah. Probably it will not be question 11 for this year lah. But it may be something else. Okay. So I'm not saying that it cannot come out. They will change the form. So we never know. But nutrition is important. Okay, transportation. This one is the blood. Don't forget your blood. The heart. Okay, the workings of the heart. How the flow of the heart, your pulmonary, the double circulatory system, systemic, pulmonary, all that. Okay, and the types of white blood cells, all that is in the blood. Okay, remember that. And don't forget the lymphatic system. Lymphatic system is also under here in chapter 10. Okay. Chapter 12. Important. For the past few years, I've been seeing some comparing your nervous system and the endocrine system. Okay. The features, the differences, the characteristics. And also, don't forget the function of the hormones. Hormones are very important. Okay. Homeostasis, what they call the urinary system, the production of urine. Okay, and also the 4 factors, which is what you call that, how do you control, right? How does your body regulate your body temperature? That's one. Second one, your blood sugar level, what kind of hormone is involved. Next one, your carbon dioxide, partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood. Number 4 is the blood pressure. Okay, 4 factors only. Only ask you these 4 only. Either one of these 4. Okay, go and look through chapter 13. Okay, and this one also very popular, sexual reproduction in animals. Okay, spermatogenesis, oogenesis, compare and contrast. Similarity and differences. Don't forget similarity, minimum 2 points. The rest, write all the differences. Okay, you can write 3 lah, 4 for the similarity, but make sure your differences definitely will be more than similarity. Definitely. Okay, and also the formation of twins and all that. That one is quite easy for you lah, right? Okay, go to form 5. Photosynthesis, leaf, the structure of leaf, and also when he asks you about this thing is the adaptation. What does the leaf have that causes this leaf to be such a good organ to produce food? It's a kilang makanan for the plant. Okay, adaptation is it has this, so that it can whatever. Okay, for example, it has cuticle. Cuticle is to reduce. Okay, so 1 mark for cuticle. The leaf has the upper surface, in fact both also like the top side, the upper epidermis has a layer of cuticle, so that it can reduce, you cannot prevent, reduce the rate of transpiration. Okay, so that less water will be lost, so your plant can retain more water. Okay, so this adaptation is important. And don't forget your photosynthetic equation lah. And also the light-dependent reaction and the light-independent reaction. That one is a bit technical lah. If you don't have time for it, okay, I just touch and go lah. All right, just little bit here, little bit there. Probably you will do quite okay lah. All right. Okay, chapter 4. Xylem and phloem. Quite last few years in the structure got, all right. Essay I didn't see, but I think the last I see quite proper in the structure. Xylem and rest, maybe this year will come up in the essay. Xylem and phloem. Again, comparing and contrasting, similarities and differences. Okay, so you go through your points. I don't have enough time to give you all the points. It'll be very boring. Some of you may already know. All right, please read on yourself, by yourself. Okay, chapter 6, sexual reproduction for plants. Last year question came out, question 10 for the meiosis in the formation of pollen grain, formation of the embryo sac. Okay, that one. Embryo sac, that one. All this is in the essay already done last year. Probably won't come out the same, but it can come out in the structure. If it doesn't come out in the essay, it may come out in the structure. Simpler form of question. Okay. And also don't forget compare and contrast for the question. Okay, adaptation of plants. This one's also quite popular. Mangrove, you know the 4 types of habitat for the plants. Okay, mesophyte, hydrophyte, xerophyte, and halophyte. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that means you need to revise. Chapter 7 from 5. Okay, the 4 types of plants categorized according to the habitat where they live. So it's usually adaptation. This question also adaptation. They ask you explain, describe how this plant is able to live in this condition. Okay, they give you, let's say, pokok bakau, mangrove tree. Then you got to give the features. It has got what? It has got these what you call the prop roots, so that they can offer what it can support the plant, right? Because the soil, the mangrove soil is very paya is very, swamp is very muddy is soft, right? So no support. And all these pneumatophore breathing roots, so that it can obtain enough oxygen for respiration and all that. So you say again F and E. If you know what I'm talking about, you look at my previous classes. I've always mentioned F and E. F is the feature, what it has, the physical feature. E is the so that to increase the surface area, to reduce the rate of transpiration, all that. Must know how to answer, all right? Okay, now why I put in blue, chapter 10, 11, 12, 13. I put in blue because for the past few years, this one, at least one question in the essay. So please, if you want to focus any one of this, please give attention to this for your essay. What is environmental sustainability? All the questions about green technology, okay, green building, okay, all this about your acid rain, the what they call the CFC, you know, all these are ozone layer, all this. It's all about the environment. Nowadays, it's very popular. Okay, our Earth is going, what they call that, global warming already. So we need to have awareness about our environment. Okay, so probably now this kind of question is KBAT. They want you to know about these environmental issues. So please revise. Okay, chapter 11, important. Inheritance, inheritance and diseases. Remember the syndrome, remember all the 3, at least minimum 3 syndrome, Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and also Klinefelter syndrome. If you have time, go and look at Jacob syndrome, also in the textbook, Form 5 textbook, although it's not really touched that much. Usually teachers will teach you these 3, but Jacob syndrome is also in the textbook. Okay, diseases, how it occurs, because of non-disjunction. If you don't know what's non-disjunction, please revise. Where the chromosomes do not separate evenly. Okay, instead of having 23, you have one gamete with 24, the other one got 22. All right, okay. Inheritance, Mendel's first law, Mendel's second law, monohybrid inheritance. Okay, we must have to draw the line. Another one, you must combine the lines to get your F1 generation. Dihybrid, remember, know how to write your Punnett square, draw the Punnett square and see the phenotype, see the genotype first and then infer the phenotype. Okay, so please revise that. Definitely, either structure, I would say structure, or this one will have something on inheritance. All right, okay. Next, variation. Inheritance and variation interlink. Okay, because you have all this is genetics. So variation, the two types of variation, this continuous and discontinuous variation, variasi selanjar, variasi tak selanjar. Remember the similarities and differences. Okay, compare and contrast. That one also can come out. All right, mutation, chromosomal mutation and gene mutation. And remember examples. Okay, chromosomal mutation is all the syndrome, Down syndrome, example of chromosomal mutation, Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome. All right, that is mutation. Then that chromosomal mutation. Gene mutation is like you have sickle cell anemia. All right, this one we call the albinism. Okay, and that is gene mutation. Some more color blindness and also hemophilia. Please remember how to draw that diagram. So yeah, they ask you how many percent of the children have hemophilia. How many? What is the probability of having a normal child? Please remember how to do that. Okay, lastly, chapter 13, genetic technology. Don't forget this, biotechnology also very important because something new and something ongoing, right? You need to be aware of the current issues. So how to, genetic technology, remember what's GMO, all right? The GMF, genetically modified food, genetically modified organism. And please remember the 4 important topics of insulin production. Okay, by manipulating the gene, right, you make your bacteria make insulin for you. Insulin production, then production of Bt corn, Bacillus thuringiensis. You make the species, the plant, less resistant to pest attack. Okay, infested by what you call attacked by the pest. These are serangga, the perosak lah, right? You will kill off the plant. So Bt corn. Then some more you will have DNA profiling. Remember how to see which is the father, look at the bands, most of the bands that will correlate. Okay, then that one will be the most probably is the father or of the child lah. Then oils, what you call oil cleaning up of the oil spill. Also making use of bacteria. All this genetic technology, you have to modify, and don't forget your DNA recombinant technology. Take out the gene, take out the plasmid from the bacteria, cut away using restriction enzyme, put the gene inside, all right? That one, then now your bacteria is able to produce the enzyme to break down the oil and so on. Okay, don't forget about that. All right, okay. So I've given you my message. My what do you call that? My Telegram username. So if you wish to contact me, if you have a question to ask me, all right, it's fine. All right, I just help you if whatever I can. So I hope that you have enjoyed what I have given you. Okay. Okay. So you have a student answering the question here. Okay, let me show you the question. Bagaimana nak kira usia pokok melalui gelang tahunnya? Okay, bulatan paling dalam dan paling luar perlu kira tak? Okay, macam ini ya. Okay, let me explain that. But how am I going to explain that? Okay, easy. Now, you must find, okay, 其实 alright. Look at the dark line. Dalam, the first one, the first dark line you see, the first black line you see, and after that will be cerah, isn't it? Dark, gelap, cerah. Now, gelap and cerah is 1 year. You keep on counting. Kira-kira gelap, cerah 1 tahun. Gelap, cerah 1 tahun. Okay, you kira sampai paling luar. Tapi jangan kira yang di luar sekali sebab itu ialah kulit pokok. don't count the last one. The last one is not included because that is the kulit kayu. Okay, so maybe what I can do is, okay, so if you want to know, please send me a message to just now my Telegram there. Show me a picture of, you just take a picture lah, of any question with the gelang. You give me your answer and I'll tell you whether your answer is correct or not. Okay, so remember those who are here, so you count the first black line and then the next one will be light, right? So that's one here. So keep on counting until you see the next line. But the last one is actually the kulit kayu, kulit, the bark, we call the kulit, kulit pokok. So that one you don't count. You count until just before the last one. Okay? 其实 just give me a question and I see whether you answer correct or not. Okay, all right, okay. So I hope to see you. I don't know where I'll see you because you're all taking SPM, right? So probably I won't see you anymore, but I hope that you have enjoyed and you have learned something that I wanted to share with you. Okay, all right. So I will see, I don't know who. All right, maybe the Form 4 batch. So I will keep on my channel, going on with my channel. So please tell your juniors if they want any help. All right, if you want some material from YouTube, my YouTube channel is always free. Okay, I've made a lot of videos, about 200 over, I think. So just look at the playlist, click on whatever you feel that you need help. Okay, all right. So thank you very much. And I think a pleasure. And I wish you all the best. Yeah, before I forget, I wish you all the very best for your SPM. Okay, so study hard, pray hard, and be true to yourself. If you've done the work, all right, you do your questions, all that, I'm sure God will help you. All right, and please stay calm, don't panic, enough sleep, don't sleep until too late, all right, until you cannot have enough the next day, on the exam day, you're too sleepy, you cannot answer. So please look after yourself and please remember to eat well. All right, thank you very much. Okay, who do I have here? The DA Fundy channel, Carol, Carls, Yijing, Ko Yijing, Carol. Okay, thank you very much. 其实, all right, thank you, and it's a pleasure for me to present to you. Okay, thank you. Bye bye, and all the best to you again. All right, thank you. See you.